Jofra Archer is back in the England Test squad. Now, I have no idea if you should play him. I've heard the arguments for that you shouldn't play him. I've heard the arguments for you probably should play him. And I'm not 100% sure where I sit. I mean, I can see the idea of that he's only played one red ball cricket game in the last 4 years, so he's probably not going to be match fit. But, I mean, touch wood, he's been bowling relatively consistently now for a year or two. Like, I know he's just come back from that thumb injury, but it was completely nothing to do with the original elbow injury that he was struggling with. So you'd imagine if he can bowl 10 overs in an ODI, can he come back and do 12 to 15 in a test match? I don't think he's going to be doing 20 overs a day. He did 18 overs for Sussex. He didn't get to bowl in the second innings because we were playing Kookaburra ball rounds and the pitches are flat and the ball doesn't do anything, so that's a slight issue. But I think that there is a chance that he plays. I mean, you'd imagine they wouldn't add him to the squad if he isn't going to play. The only way that you could think of is you say, okay, he can get some reps in, he can bowl during the lunch break, he can bowl during the tea break, and just kind of gradually kind of almost mimic a test match and what he would usually do, and being around the squad is probably quite good for him. I don't know how much time he's actually spent around the test match squad, so it'll be interesting to see if he comes in. I'd play him. I think it's a risk worth taking. You're going to have to find out. You're going to have to take him to Australia, and England have a much better chance of winning the Ashes if Archer is there, even if it is just for 2 tests. So if you can try and get through like 2 and 4, there has been an argument that he plays another game at Sussex, but then he'll be playing 3, and then you play him in the 3rd test, but then he is playing 3 games in a row, which is probably a little bit too much for him. So maybe he comes into the squad, is rested for the 2nd test, and then goes into the 3rd test. I'd play him in the 2nd. That Edgbaston pitch is going to be so flat. I would probably play him. No other real changes to the squad, just Jofra Archer added in. If they're going to replace anyone, you'd imagine it's going to be Josh Tongue. That would probably be my idea. Maybe Carsey's had a couple of injury problems, but it's going to be one or the other. You'd imagine Woke still plays, although it's his home ground. He didn't look as great with the ball, but looked pretty good with the bat. So I'd imagine Woke plays. I think they might try and slot Jofra Archer in for this test, but it could be a bit of a worry.